Hello and welcome to more awesome collection, classic toys. Today we're going to look at a very rare Hasbro catalog, retailer catalog, and price guide were provided to stores. This isn't catalogs for people to get to buy. This is for stores. This is 1975, and we're going to primarily look at the G.I. Joe Adventure Team. Here's the cover. Not much to see there. And then this is the cover of this. Hasbro price guide. New for $75. Effective from right after Christmas, 74 on. And look at all the G.I. Joe adventurers. Land, sea, air, black man, commander, black talking commander, talking kung fu man action. All the different uniforms and kits, sets, and then they list a bunch of the adventures. Look at them all. The Spy Shark. So many of these were new. Jaws of Death. Pygmy Gorilla was a standby. The Mummy's Tomb. Skyhawk. So quite a bit, and then they had stuff for the Atomic Man too, and the Defenders, which was a cheaper little line that they had for the 12-inch type figures. The rest of it is the other toys and games that they made. Take a look here. We'll get to the G.I. Joe section again in a second. And just look at the front, how it starts. Tells you what there. So those are the titles, and then you see heavily doing Defenders, G.I. Joe, and Atomic Man. This is 75, so they'd have one more year, 76. Well, those are the Weebles. If anybody remembers their slogan, Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. So a lot of stuff for little kids. Big Weebles line. Of course, they still made dolls, craft kits. And look, they had some licensed things for crafts. There's Batman and Super Friends and Star Trek. Hong Kong Phooey, Planet of the Apes, Captain America, Scooby-Doo, Flintstones, Valley of the Dinosaurs. Evel Knievel was really big back then. There's some outdoor playthings for young ones, and then here's all the Light Bright, very popular line. Look at how old-fashioned Bugs Bunny still looked there in 1975. Some games, cool games that they got licensed. Those were very simple kids games. They're collectible. Basic things like chess sets. We're going to get to the G.I. Joe in a second. There's Jerry Lewis had a thing going on with representing games. I don't remember these. This was new. Their Ghost Gun. Trying to make something like this because this is well before Ghostbusters. Screaming Demons. Ricochet Racers. I remember the commercials for those. We're getting to the G.I. Joes in a second. Ricochet Western. Okay, so this is the Defenders. What was kind of neat is this. They made a couple of things that were unique to it, but otherwise it was a rehash of what they had for G.I. Joe. See, he's basically just a blow-molded mannequin. You know, his legs bow up and down, his arms go up and down, his neck goes, as I said, goes side to side. And they reused a lot of things, but one of the cool things they made was the ambush. I have that on a adventure. I'll show that sometime. That was unique to this set. A very cool, like, tiger stripe pattern. And then the rest of it was rehash equipment, but they did give some cheap, like a plastic tent, a wall emplacement for the machine gun. You didn't really get the machine gun in Adventure Team. That's a whole throwback to the 1960s with the Army and Marines. This was cool. Large blow mold raft. Then they made a cheaper version of the Jeep that they made for G.I. Joe. Then they made the Iron tank, but this was more geared to 8-inch figures than 12-inch because he just looked giant in there. I had one of those once, very cheap, but still collectible. Here we go. There's the G.I. Joes. We've got the basic land adventurer, sea adventure, and air adventurer. The man of action, that's the guy without the beard. Originally, they don't have him anymore here, but they had the astronaut, and he had blonde hair. There's the black adventurer, and then there's the 3 talking ones. Talking black commander, and this one, and they said the same things, but on this one, see, he still has a dog tag instead of the adventure team dog tag. They still used the Army for that, even though it was man of action. And then they have a variety of them showing their outfits. They have these, and I've done some of these. These are the basic, real basic sets for kids to get. You see some of it, everything had a title. You basically get a pair of either a jumpsuit or a shirt and pants, and they give you like one piece of equipment, and none of the pieces of equipment were new to this. They were just packaged for that. But it was fun if you didn't have those outfits or something. It was neat to add more things. What I liked is getting more jumpsuits. So this one, they've got a solid green. They've got the copter rescue is yellow, and then the blue. See all the cool names for them. And they came out with those in 3 different versions. I've done video on that, which is cool. Here they're showing an equipment center. If this exists today, this would be quite expensive to get a store display. I have a store display from my Major Matt Mason that I haven't shown yet. But for Adventure Team, look at that. So they have artwork here that's showing some of the basic sets, that how they'd go in there. So this would be on the shelf or the counter. Very cool. And then this was the next setup. These are very hard to get. This assortment. This was on a card, but they give you an outfit and more equipment. Green Danger, I believe I did a video for that. There's Diver's Distress. They show a little orange squid, but they made him gray and plastic. There's the names of those. Very hard to get. I don't have them all. Tried very hard to get them, but they're very expensive and they're very rare. Things from this time period, these orange cards and boxes don't show up that often. And then this was the basic larger sets where you get an outfit and a lot more equipment. These came in boxes. One of the coolest ones is the Night Surveillance. That comes with a black shirt that's like a black hood, and they redid the equipment tester in blue. And the main thing they did on a lot of these was recolor some of the equipment for this, so that's kind of neat. So even though it was rehash equipment put with new outfits and stuff, they did them in different colors. It's like there's the chest which comes in a chocolate brown here, but when that was sold separately, that was in yellow. The same thing with the equipment there. Let's go on. Some of these were for the blue sets. A lot of with like scientific things. We've got radiation detection, hurricane spotter, aerial reconnaissance. So those were redone in orange. Very hard to get it that way. And then these were the yellow box sets. Infiltration was cool with black and a Sten gun. That replaced the karate set. And there's the smoke jumper. There's the names of the sets. Secret Agent was always one of the coolest ones. See the funny looking face he's got on there? Came with a false mask. And then the attaché case, which had a gun that would break down into different pieces with a scope, a Luger, and a shoulder stock and a microphone all fit in that green case. Very cool. And then these some of the action packs. Rescue Raft, Windboat, Underwater Explorer, Turbocopter drag bike. So those were cool things that you could mount on their back and then break down and then have them move. That's very cool. So is that. Here's showing the 50 Adventures of G.I. Joe, their logo. And that was the commercial. Still don't know what the exact 50 is when you count everything up. It's a little confusing. That I never got the orange version of the Devil of the Deep because that came out the year before in the basic green. So that would be very, very rare and expensive. I have some of the box Talking Commanders. Very cool. And then they started putting them in instead of the box. They changed over to the muscle body way they built these. It had a little less articulation. A lot of times they fall apart because of the way the grommets were a certain type of rubber, and it's hard to deal with, but people have a way to restring them and make them work. So this is a cool packaging. There it is. There's the Diver's Distress, and that's the one you actually get, the gray one they're showing there. There's one of the boxes, one of the cards, and then they're still redoing some of the classics. Secret Mission to Spy Island, Danger of the Depths, and then this was one of the new ones and the big ones, where you get the Black Shark and a cool outfit. Revenge of the Spy Shark, Black Widow Rendezvous, that's really cool with the silver helmet and the blue. Still doing a Raging Inferno, which they repurposed the astronaut. We're running out of time here. The helicopter, they're not showing it in the orange box, but they switched over to that. Was hard. This is, and then the Stolen Idol was basically the helicopter, except you got these pieces. Very cool. We love that Cobra, the Idol, and the gems. This was one of the very hard ones to get. The Vulture Falls, the Vulture sets. So is this one, the Jaws of Death, Clam, got that one. 8 Ropes of Danger was a classic. You can see right there, I mentioned that on something before, they cheapened up this set by just giving you plain gray coins. Originally they were coated a shiny silver and gold. Hasbro. There's the White Tiger, another classic, and the Pygmy Gorilla. They went throughout the entire run from 1970 to 76. This was one of the new vehicles, the Devil of the Deep Swampcraft. Comes with a cool hammerhead, man array. No such thing, but it should be. It's cool. Did a video for this, the Skydive to Danger. Did 2 versions of that. One was just plain yellow, and this is the better looking one with the checkerboard. There's the classic Mummy's Tomb. For people that really know the G.I. Joe, that's the later one that's very rare to get. The ATV with the grill in it, because that was solid most of the whole time. And they also changed the way the finish on the actual tomb was. Look at it, page after page, so much stuff. Fate of the Troubleshooter, that had a talking unit. That one came with a Vulture too. So it's basically a repurposed ATV, but they added new wheels and tracks and a headlight. This guy, the Skyhawk, I have one of those, but I don't know if that ever got in the air for kids to fly a G.I. Joe. It's enormous, but it's kind of cheap and flimsy because it comes with wooden dowels besides plastic. This was great. The Seawolf submarine, a mini submarine with a cool squid. Look at it, really featuring that. You can put that in the water. I remember once a kid had one of those and he was showing it in the pool. I wanted that one, but I didn't get it. Very cool. There's the classic Adventure Team headquarters. Very nice. And here's the training center. Great, I have some of those. And it came with a cave and a big snake and lots of cool equipment. And this was a redo where they redid the Jeep, cheapened it up a little bit, but it came with a lot of stuff. And they gave you the alligator. He was only seen in the Mouth of Doom previously. There's a Sandstorm Survival, so a lot of stuff in here. There's Mike Powers, the Atomic Man. And then some of his individual sets. They're very hard to get. Very cool. Have those. Then those were unique outfits to him, and so forth. Alrighty, I think we're running out of time. And then there's his Mountain Outpost. Thanks for liking, subscribing. Thank you.